Hi guys! Welcome back to War Robots. So we are here on my Steam account. We are going to take a look at War Robots version 6.8. Now this is going to be on my own battle account. And we are going to click here and have a look on the 6.8 version of War Robots and see what is new. It says here the Lunar New Year event, the new teleporting support, robot gmeter, Hawk rebalance, and the report system. Now I have showed you guys the teleporting system and the gmeter on Pixonic's War Robots account. And now we are gonna click here and see what's new. Alright, War Robots version 6.8. Now this is going to be for the people that are playing on Steam, on Game Room, and what have you. Alright, the new lunar year in War Robots will start soon after update 6.8 lands on your platform. 3 types of special crates. Now, we have here special crates. Those are the crates right here. Well, they look like envelopes. And there's here the new special editions, the Tiger Cat Scatter and Warrior Typhon. Now that Warrior Typhon, that is a newer robot to the Typhon bot. I've seen that bot in action already. And a new robot gmeter. I have showed you guys the gmeter on Pixonic's account on the test server. I showed you that robot. Now that gmeter robot, it can heal other robots from your allies. You can heal up your allies when they are in trouble, and you can also put weapons on the gmeter as well, and modifications too. The Tiger Scattergun I haven't seen yet, but I have seen the regular Scattergun. That is awesome. That's a Tiger Scatter gun that can fire bursts of supersonic sound to kill other robots. New weapons, Hornet and Magnetar. We have seen the Hornet and Magnetar on the Pixonic's test server. New legendary pilots are Roslyn. She is going to be piloting the Typhon here, and Jerry Fortune is going to be piloting the Demeter. Also, don't miss the arena and new skirmishes that will go online later on during the event. Alright, the weapons here. Dragon Marquez, that is an energy weapon here. The Dragon Calamity is also an energy weapon. The Dragon Dragoon as well. Dragon Blaze, that is a fire weapon that can shoot flames. Crimson Hawk, that is a robot. The Tiger Scattergun is that supersonic scattergun. The Devastator and the Havoc. Now Scatter, Devastator and Havoc, those weapons are new to the game. I have the Devastator, I can build it. So yeah. Warrior Typhon here. Warrior Typhon. That is the new robot which is going to be in here. Now all these guys here, you can find them here in envelope number 1 here. The Typhon Warrior, the Magnetar and the Hornet, you can find them in the second crate or envelope. Dread Shell, that is going to be the new Shell robot. The Ox Minus, that is the newer robot compared to the Minus bot. Demeter, that is the new Demeter robot, the Squall and the Grom. Those are 2 new weapons that are going to go with the Ox Minus. You can also put these weapons on your other Titans as well. On the Arthur, on the Oming, and on Kit. You can put those 2 weapons on all 3. Alright. And you can find those items here in this envelope. So let's scroll down here. New weapons, Hornet and Magnetar. Available from level 5 in special crates during the event. Hornet. Hornet is a heavy kinetic cannon that applies high damage per shot, and a decent rate of fire makes it a viable option for mid-range sniper builds. For the Hawk example, you can put the Hornet weapons on the Hawk. We have seen that over on Pixonic on the test server. I have a Hawk there, and I have the Hornet weapons on the Hawk. Magnetar. Magnetar is a light medium-range energy autocannon. It immobilizes the target after a certain number of hits. Give it a try to pulsar Magnetars build, they work well together. Now pulsar, that is a kinetic weapon also. It can immobilize another player as well, just like the Magnetar. So if I was to build a Hawk, I would put 2 Magnetars on there and 2 Hornets. You can also put pulsars as well. They work good. New robot gmeter. Available from level 27. I don't have any problems with that because my game level is level 30. And level 30 is the max level you can get in the game. Perfect support. Gmeter specializes in repairing damaged allies. This robot can teleport to a friendly target, instantly covering it with an impenetrable absorber shield. The more damage the shield absorbs, the more durability gmeter restores to nearby teammates. So what that means is, when the absorber absorbs enough power, the more power can be transferred to your allies, to your teammates. We're not going to be watching the video because we are talking about it. Now we have the ability repairing cover. Gmeter enables absorber and repairs all allies in ability range. I think the ability range on that robot is, I think it's 350. I'm not sure about that. I haven't checked the ability range. I think it's 350. If the ability is used with an ally in target, the gmeter teleports to the ally, increasing absorber's radius. All damage taken by absorber strengths the repairing waves. Alright. Absorber. Impenetrable shield that can absorb an unlimited amount of damage. So the absorber shield that can penetrable, it can take a lot of absorption and it can withstand its power, which is awesome. So your absorber shield won't get damage of any kind or in any way. Try using the concentrated fire of your opponents to your advantage. So that means when your opponent is firing at you, trying to take you down, your absorber shield here is gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger, which means when your absorber shields get stronger due to your enemy firing at you, you can heal your allies a lot quicker. So you have to take advantage of your enemies firing at you. So now we are gonna jump down here to the report system here. You can now report unfair play from the battle results window. At first there will be the following reasons for the report. So you can report people here for the following reasons. Number 1 here, a player uses cheats or speed hacks. So you can't use speed hacks or cheats in the game anymore. Next one here, a player self-destructs most of their robots during a match. Now, I have seen that before in a lot of battles that I've been in. People are self-destructing their robots when they are in a battle. Now, I don't know why they would do that, and you can report people for doing that, for self-destructing their robots during a match. That's not allowed anymore. That people used to do that before the report system is being implemented. Maybe because there were too many people on the battlefield, so they had to self-destruct or something. I don't know. But that is probably one of the reasons why players keep self-destructing, because there are, like I said, too many people in the battle. Next one here, a player remains inactive throughout the match. So if a player jumps into a battle and he's inactive, he doesn't do anything, just stands around for some reason or other, that player can be reported to Pixonic on the report system. Next one here. A player has too powerful a hanger for their league. So that means when a player is in a high league, like Champion League, now all those leagues, they are, now they will give you, how should I say, those leagues, they have a certain amount of rules. You're not allowed to have an overpowered hanger in, let's say, in the Silver League or in a Gold League. If you're in Gold League and you have a too powerful of a hanger, you can be reported for that. Even in Champion League, if your hanger is too powerful, if you have robots that are too powerful for their league, you can be reported for that. So that is another good reporting system here. A player has inappropriate nickname. Now I've seen that before. There are players here on War Robots on the battlefield there, they have a way too long nickname. They would have something like Max 00000xxxxx. So that is a name that is inappropriate because it's way too long. It has too many letters and too many numbers. So players who have that is an appropriate nickname, you can report that player to Pixonic and they will sort that out. Alright. Let's see what it says here. If a player gets a certain number of similar reports within a certain period of time, we'll warn that player. Now that player is going to be warned if that player is being reported within a certain period of time and a certain number of ways or a certain number of times, yeah. If the reports continue, we'll take measure. Yeah, they are gonna take measure here if a player is being reported too many times. Depending on the situation, the warning may be followed by a temporary ban or transfer to a lower priority queue. So they can ban the player for good. Now they are gonna decide if they want to ban that player for good or transfer that player to maybe a lower queue. That means probably to a lower league, from Champion League down to the Bronze League or to the Silver League. That is probably what that means. What if someone reports me for no real reason? Now who would want to do that? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Firstly, to report a player, you need to be in the same match. That means you can't report people that are in other matches. That's not going to work. You can't report a player that is in a different battle. That doesn't work. Secondly, each player can only send that many reports each day. So they have a certain amount of reports that you can send per day. Like if you can't send like 50 reports per day, that'd be way too many. So they have a certain number of reports that you can send per day. So if somebody starts reporting a random opponent each time, they'll quickly reach the report limit. So that means that they have a report limit of maybe 50 or so. And if you go over the report limit, you can't report players anymore. So you have to watch it a little bit. And yes, before an account gets suspended, it needs to accumulate a considerable amount of reports before we take measure. Several occasional complaints won't result in anything. So you have to report a player a certain number of times before they are going to take action here, and before his account gets suspended. So let's say you reported a player maybe 4 or 5 times here. Sonic is going to take action here, and that account is going to get suspended from that particular player. So if you report this guy once or twice, they're not going to take any action here. You have to report them maybe 4 or 5 times before they can do something, because they're going to have a look at the battles. I think Pixonic is recording battles here. So if you report that player with his ID, you need his ID to be able to report them. Each player has an ID, so you use his ID, his identification there, to report the player, and then Pixonic is probably going to have a look at that battle and see what that player did. And if he has done something stupid, then he will get banned, or his account is going to get suspended. To report a player, select the nickname from the post-combat leaderboard. That is what they are showing down here. That is the post-combat leaderboard. Open the player's profile. So we have to open up the player's profile to get his nickname and his ID. Tap the red report button. That is the report button right here to report that player that is in here. Select the reason for the report. Those are probably the reasons right here. Confirm your decision. So you press confirm here when you have selected the reason report here. There are a number of reasons in here which you can select from, and if you have selected a reason, press confirm, then you press OK, and that is going to go out to Pixonic and going to report the player. Which in my point of view, which in my mind I think is pretty good. There are plenty of cheaters and hackers out there in all sorts of games, and I'm glad that Pixonic has implemented a report system where you can report other people for not playing fair. That is a wise decision, I think, Pixonic made. Now the balance changes here. Nerfs. The Hawk got nerfed. Ability damage against robots 50%. Reflector on takeoff and landing removed. Now we have seen that here on the test server. I have a Hawk on there. I have 2 Hawks actually. And when you take off, the reflector shield is gone. And on landing, the reflector shield is gone as well. So the only time you have a reflector shield is when you are actually in the air flying. And the ability damage against robots 50%, minus 50% actually. They took off a bit of ability from the Hawk here. Hawk was initially designed to counter Titans. Now, the Hawk here, that is a robot which can kill many Titans. Now, I have seen Hawks take out Titans, like the Oming and the Arthur. That is a very powerful robot. I think that Hawk was too powerful at the time when it came out, so they had to remove some ability damage here. Titans piercing through their extreme defeat stat. That is true. However, the Titan Slayer turned out to be slaying pretty much anything else before the first Titans even appear in the match. We want to keep the Hawk's role focused on its original promise, so we make its ability less effective against regular robots. So they tuned down the Hawk a little bit so that you can't kill Titans so fast, but therefore it can kill other robots. Because the Hawks are defined as Titan killers, so they tuned the Hawk down a little bit so that they can't kill the Titans as fast. And by removing reflector on takeoff and landing, we give other robots more opportunities to fight back. Now that's a good idea from Pixonic here, that they took off the reflector shield on takeoff and landing on the Hawk, so other robots that don't have the shield, that they have an opportunity to fight back on the Hawk. That is awesome. I think that is brilliant. The Nightingale here. Speed while in flight 83 kilometers per hour down to 60 miles per hour. Now the Nightingale, it can fly 83 miles per hour. Now with that speed of 83, that Nightingale was able to conquer the beacons. That was a beacon getter, that Nightingale, with the speed here. That was a robot that can conquer beacons. They put that down to 60 kilometers per hour. Repair ability zone 50 meters to 75. They upped that. That is brilliant. They took away the speed here. They took away 20 kilometers. Now that means you can't get beacons anymore with this Nightingale speed. 60 kilometers. That's too slow to get beacons. They slowed it down a little bit. The repair ability, that is the green circle that comes down when they're in flight. They upped that from 50 meters to 75 meters. That is brilliant. I have seen that on the test server as well. And also this here, the Nightingale on the test server only flew 60 kilometers per hour, but therefore had a bigger repair ability zone. Gains more altitude, which is height, when using the ability. Cannot capture beacons when flying in most cases. Now, you can capture beacons when the beacons are close enough to each other, then you can capture them. But since the beacons are going to be spread out a little bit more, then those beacons can't be captured by the Nightingale. Alright. Nightingale was extremely good, both at fixing things and beacon running. This bird is supposed to be a team player rather than a lone all-rounder going for flanking maneuvers. So we cut its wings a little while, making it up with some better repairs. Alright, I think that is it's not my type of thing. I think they should have kept the speed here on the Nightingale so you can capture the beacons, but we're going to test that in game. I have a Nightingale and we are going to test that. Alright, the Scorpion here. Ability defense points 100. Way down to 55. I think they should have put it down to 65 maybe. 50% down to 35% damage reduction. They took out the damage reduction here on the Scorpion here. Now you can build the Scorpion on the Steam servers. They did an update there yesterday. You can now build Scorpions. Yeah, the ability defense points down to 55. I don't know if some players would like that. They probably like this one better here, the 100. 55. I don't know. That is yeah. 50% to 35% damage reduction. Ability duration 12 seconds down to 8 seconds. So the ability on the Scorpion is to teleport to another player and trying to kill that enemy player. and teleport back again. That takes now 8 seconds instead of 12 seconds. For a trickster robot, Scorpion is a bit too tough. Scorpion players often don't mind engaging two opponents at once, which isn't what saboteurs are supposed to do, at least not that frequently. With this nerf, we make Scorpions less beefy, requiring you to time ambushes more carefully and avoid concentrated fire. I was going to say here, ambushes more accurately as well. Yeah, they took the beef out of the Scorpion here a little bit, so you can't attack two players at once here when you're using the ability mode here. Quarker and Atomizer and Nucleon. Shot interval 0.1 seconds, 0.15 seconds. Here, they up to that. Now that means that Quarker, Atomizer, those are all energy weapons here. That means those energy weapons, they are going to fire a lot more quicker than 0.1. They're going to fire at 0.15 seconds faster. Other several previous updates, these weapons became perfect all-rounders. They work well for both burst and sustainable damage tactics. Their average damage per battle is also a bit higher than we want it to be. Yeah, I agree with that. We decided to make the Atomizer family less powerful in quick attacks. That means here the shot interval, they can fire a lot quicker, but are probably therefore less powerful, providing more space for other bursty weapons. Okay, the Shredder here. Damage 10%. Cooldown for the Shredder. I don't think the Shredder has a cooldown. So 3 to 5, they up to that here. 3 seconds, 5-second cooldown now. I don't like that very much because 3 seconds was short enough to cool the Shredder down, and now it takes even longer to cool the Shredder down, so I don't know why they changed that here. Effect accumulation speed is minus 20%. And the damage, what does that Shredder do for damage? I think 90%. I'm not sure about that, but they took away 10% of the damage on the Shredder. Shredder is a tier 3 weapon that performed just as well as most of the tier 4 weapons. We reduced its damage to match its tier 3 peers. It also worked a tad too well for accumulating status effects, which become especially apparent with the advent of drones with control microchips. Alright. Now the buffs here. The Nemesis, that is a robot. Ability damage 10 or plus 7% here. The target adjustment improved. Aiming with the ability and hitting targets behind a corner should be easier. That means when you're using the Nemesis with a weapon, you can fire around corners a lot easier now. Demander ability defense is 140, now 175 ability defense. That means the damage protection is what that means. 58%, they upped that to 64% damage reduction. Alright, that is brilliant damage reduction. 64%. I don't know if that's a good thing now or a bad thing here. That probably means it does less damage at 64%. We planned on buffing Mender in 6.3, however, the buff didn't take effect. We're fixing the issue now with this small increase to Mender's survivability. Inquisitor. Movement speed, they upped that to 3 kilometers per hour here. The ability cooldown 20 seconds down to 18 seconds now. The cooldown on this robot, the Inquisitor here, takes 18 seconds to cool down. And here you have the invader. The arachnid invader is what they're talking about. The durability there is 5%. On the Jaeger, now those two are spider bots. The rapier is a spider bot as well. Built-in weapon damage 5% plus. The rapier ability damage plus 15%. That is pretty damn cool. I have the rhino here. Movement speed 5 kilometers per hour. We can probably test that. The Hayashi movement got a plus 2. The Marquez and the Hussar, those are energy weapons here, damage plus 10%. The Weber weapon, damage plus 10%. Blaze and Amber, those are flame weapons, they got a damage here of a plus 10. The Redeemer here, damage plus 7%. The Arbalast, I have one Arbalast that does a damage of, I think, 3000 at the moment. It's upgraded up to level 5, I think. The shock trains, they do damage of plus 10. The Arbalast here, damage of a plus 20%. The Exodus, those are not very powerful weapons at 350 meter range. The Vortex are the most powerful weapons at 350 meters. They do at least, I think at level 12 at Mach 2, they can do at least, let's say maybe 25,000 damage per shot. You can only fire them once before they reload. The Halo, the Corona and the Glory, those are weapons that can immobilize people here. Effect accumulation speed of 5%. We're going to test that. I have a Halo here, my Phantom, so we can test the accumulation effect speed here, 5%. I think I have a Zeus as well. Yeah, I do have a Zeus. It has a 9000 damage output, plus 15%. Now they fixed a few bugs here. Bugs fixed. Shell explosion zone exceeding 100 meters. That means the shell robot has an explosion built in. So when you press the spacebar and if you stand near an enemy robot, the explosion is going to do some damage to the enemy robot that is standing beside the shell within the 100 meter range. Fixed zone indicator disappearing on beacons and robot abilities, tire, hellburner, what have you, after turning camera. Fixed item list not scrolling in storage, then clicking on scroll arrow game room. Now game room is not going to be here any longer, so fixed Jaeger getting stuck when using the ability. Okay, the Jaeger seems to be getting stuck when the ability is being used on it. Fixed the Aegis visually effects appearing on Fenrir with Bernadetta Wolf pilot. Fixed weapons visual effects hanging in the air until the end of the match. Yeah, I have seen that before. Fixed Loki weapons facing the wrong direction. I haven't seen that on the Loki since I've been playing War Robots here. Improved performance for several low-end devices. Fixed several graphic boxes in minimal quality presets. So this is it, guys. This is all what's new on War Robots on the Steam accounts here, and even on Game Room where people are playing or what have you. So I'm gonna end the video here, have a look through what is new here for the people that are playing War Robots. Let me know what you think of this video, and let me know what you think of Pixonic's new rules here with the report system here. Let me know what you guys think of this new feature. I think it's great. It's awesome. You can now report hackers and what have you. So thanks for watching, guys, and we are gonna go in game, and we are gonna show you some new features here, like the report system. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks for watching here, and bye bye.